are tuned in to this Another Profit and Growth segment, where we're always looking to give you something for your head, something for your heart, and something for your hands to do. In the studio with us is Mogolzann and Ms LaLa, and they both are interesting individuals that have shared
in their own unique
such
way.
wonderful thing. What you turn your phone over for? So I can't see.
She getting that call.
We all know.
Maybe.
Can't let it
I'm
be
just
known.
saying, because, you know,
That's
Josh ain't calling. In fact, was that Bob or who was that? John calling you?
Nah,
Or-
Josh
I don't know Bob.
He watching the stream live.
No,
Dad. It was Dad.
That was Ray LaQuan.
Oh God, I wouldn't even talk to nobody with
But she put
that.
dad in the phone, because you know how
Yeah,
they like
that's the
code
code,
stuff.
right.
Because dad means really Laquan.
Ray LaQuan.
It means
Ray
Dad.
Laquan.
Ray LaQuan.
Okay.
And my phone, Dad means Dad.
Oh, okay.
Because you call him Big Daddy.
No, because he helped me come into the world.
I tell you, we will get you in trouble on all sorts of levels.
I see. You're always setting me up.
You gonna walk in, just like, give me your phone. Just give me, did you see my interview? Just give me your phone, right there.
Be talking about, I'm going to call dad to see who really dad is.
Who this?
Who it is?
Now,
Who
has he met your
Talking about,
parents?
please.
Yes.
How do your parents feel about him?
They really like him because he supports everything I do.
But what if what you do is not good?
I'm not doing nothing I ain't supposed to be doing, so he gonna support it.
But there's always something that somebody does.
Look at
that
the flutter.
ain't necessary. I know. Exactly. A little fake eyelash gonna
Flutter
fall
all
off.
That means
Hey.
thank you very much.
But there may be something that you're not doing that he should not be supporting you in. You need to have that person to say, you know what, maybe you ought not be doing that.
Oh, he good at that. Like if I want to take my little day trip on to, go with the girls in Miami, or if I want to take a little trip
Now it
and
come out.
without him and go to like Atlanta,
Exactly.
he ain't going for that. I mean, of course, I
Because
don't let
he
him
knows you.
tell me what to do, but I feel like, there's a way to do things. If we
Tell me what to
disagree,
do.
it's something we need to sit down and
Put
talk
your head
about.
down. Tell me
Not just go behind his back and do it, but, sit down and talk like, well, why can't, why don't you think this is a good idea?
But you have gone behind his back. And
When?
When the other day.
When?
When you did what you shouldn't be doing.
What was that?
That thing
No thing.
that you told me about.
Break it down.
You said not to tell anybody. So I'm trying to keep your private.
They hear it now. I want to hear it. I
Exposed.
Me and Mogul sitting there like,
want to hear it.
Give me the popcorn.
hey,
I'm waiting.
I want to
can
know.
somebody bring LaLa some water? Feeling a little
That thing, that thing.
But if you're in a
Oh my God.
relationship and he put his foot down and say, no, you ain't going to, and you're not married, what should be the proper response?
I think
Do it
that's a
anyhow.
conversation
I mean,
between them
if it's
two.
Or
that
respect.
serious?
You
I mean,
know,
it's definitely
you know?
respect, but it's compromise too as well. So
Yes.
you
Maybe
have
it's
to
a matter of
understand.
understand. For me, you got to tell me why.
Exactly.
Like,
that's how.
Because I said so.
And that's not
look.
going to work.
And then
for
I'm
me.
gonna go do
It's
what I want to do.
29.
So why though?
It's 2019.
that's
If
not
I'm in a
so
relationship,
why?
I got a tracker on your phone. I got a tracker on your car.
Oh no, been there, done that. No, thank you. Never again.
Done where?
The phone tracker.
You tracked her.
No,
tracked
he
you.
tracked me.
So he was tracking you.
Yes, at the beginning of our relationship, we
It's-
was going
it's a new
through a lot
age,
of ups
baby.
and downs, and he had a tracker on the car, a tracker on my phone. I mean, yes.
You were that bad?
Where you going?
Well, I mean, I guess because of the
Where you
field
going?
that I was formerly in, he tried to felt like he needed to keep up with me, just in case something happened to me, or if he needed
that's
to
it.
get
That's
to me.
it. Right.
That's how he put it.
Concerned.
I care about you, baby.
Safety.
Or he used the tracker to be like, she gone. She on 34th Street. Come on, mama. What's
got 10
going on?
minutes.
No.
Shawty.
Yeah.
He ain't from where I'm from.
Kissing on your neck and looking at your trail, your GPS, where you
We got
at.
5 more minutes.
Because I know how to take that off. It was to where I could take off the GPS. I could park the car somewhere if I really wanted to. If I wanted to get down and dirty to nitty gritty, I could have did it, but I didn't do anything like that because
For all
I
the
felt like it was
listeners-
unnecessary.
For all the listeners, she has 3 beautiful kids back there.
Yes.
That man ain't doing nothing. He ain't doing nothing. Don't even try.
That ain't his kids.
They are his children in his eyes.
When you're a man,
He
her
is
kids
a
are your
father.
kids. When you're a
Right.
man, your
Yes,
kids
in
are
his
her
eyes,
kids.
but,
That's point blank.
I mean, to be with me, you gonna treat mine like they yours
But that's
because
the issue that Blue had on what's that
Queen
show?
Sugar.
On Queen Sugar, where
What's
the
that?
kids at school and the parents are talking and they were like, "Your daddy really ain't your daddy."
beat them up.
Their definition
Beat them up,
of
kids.
daddy
Beat them up.
planted
Do
the
not
seed.
encourage.
Beat them
You
up.
didn't plant the seed. You really ain't the daddy, so you ain't got no daddy. You don't even know who your daddy is.
Who
So
bought
when
you
they
the
reap the
shoes?
consequences,
Who bought
that's
you
on
the
them.
shoes? That's all you said.
Who bought you the
Who got you them clothes?
Right.
They say, you know the response to that? Get them the fresh new J's that them kids ain't got.
Right.
They walk to school.
Who bought you them? My daddy. Your daddy. Your
Yeah,
daddy.
daddy.
My daddy. The one you say that ain't my daddy.
And then they gonna beat
Told you he was
and
my
take
dad.
your tennis shoes, and then they gonna wear them. Because that's how that's gonna play
That's
out.
the 90s. That's 2019. My kids ain't going down like
This
that.
bullying. It's
We are
2019.
anti-bullying.
Anti-bullying.
But it happened.
We are.
It
Let me ask
happens.
this:
It
what's the
happens.
difference, Dr. Biz? You have kids. I've heard often. Let me ask you: do you have a dad, a daddy, or a father?
All three.
Because I've heard, this is my father, but he's not my daddy, or this is my daddy, but he's not my father, or what's the difference? What is
There's
more?
no difference. It's people try
Oh,
to.
there is a difference.
One brought you in this world,
and one takes
just takes care of you. Yes.
There's a difference between planting a seed. Anybody can
You know what I
plant
call my
a
father?
seed
You know what I call my father?
and be a father.
Dad.
I call mine Poppy.
That's what my
But-
kids call
But if
my daddy.
somebody is taking care of you, raising you in the fear and admonition of the Lord, instilling things in you, giving you wisdom and
Yes.
things of that nature, that then
That's your guardian.
no, that's the person that's raising you. That's
Raising you, yeah,
that
taking care
is
of
a
you.
true dad. A true dad
He's
is there
taking up
for
the
you.
part. Yeah. So I
He's
think that is
fulfilling
your
the roles
dad.
and
Put it
responsibilities.
this way: there's
not
a
just planting
dad,
seed
and then there's
anywhere.
stepdaddy. So that makes
Well, I don't like that terminology in my house.
stepdad,
Stepdad.
stepbrother, half
If it's
brother,
gonna be
half
like
sister.
that, we good.
I ain't worried about
Because
it.
I don't want none of the kids feeling singled out. You know what I'm saying? Everybody is the same. One sound,
One sound.
One sound, one band.
like drumline.
One sound is. Is that the sound? It sound like whooping's happening.
No,
Yes.
no,
Shout out to stepdaddies. Don't whoop your kids.
don't.
Don't do that.
They got crazy uncles and crazy granddaddies and crazy moms and crazy aunts. Just crazy everybody. Everybody crazy.
Everybody crazy.
So
It
you're
sound like
crazy
he
as
need to
well.
run. That's what it sounds.
Ain't nobody touching my kids but me.
Don't whoop. Don't. If they ain't your kids, don't whoop them.
You
No.
know Joshua Spanker?
No.
So y'all get married, y'all living under the same roof with the children, and you're not home. He's there with the 3 children. They do something inappropriately. What he's supposed to do? Pick up the phone and call you and say, "Come discipline your kids."
Call their uncle. I don't want
But then
nobody.
he can't
I
really
mean,
raise
and
the
understand-
child the way he needs to.
and
because
that's
on
really
one
a
hand,
debate.
You're saying you
There's-
ain't step, but then on the other hand,
Yeah,
you don't give him the
kind of
authority.
controversial.
Exactly,
I understand what you're
it's contradictory.
saying. Yeah, I understand what you're saying, but
Don't
it's
be the
kind of
daddy,
like
I'm not gonna
when
be the daddy.
I'm not there at that point yet. Like I'm not married yet, so I can't really say. But right now, how I feel is no, please don't touch my kids, because then I have to try to kill you. You know what I'm
There's
saying?
other
Because they
ways- other ways of
mine. You know what I'm saying?
discipline.
I'll beat them.
There's many more
if
ways
they need
of
a beating,
discipline.
and then I don't
What?
even beat them like that. We do
Time
timeout.
Mm-hmm.
We do
Time
timeout.
Take
We do
away the
timeout.
game.
I
You know
take
what?
my flip flop off real quick, but
Now that's-
we like to do timeout because it's like you don't want your kids to be like, dang, like. You know what I'm saying? Every time
Why
they do
not?
something, they
I turned out
When-
just
Because I
fine
don't like-
ducking
When
and
dinner
dodging.
time come around,
Everybody
when dinner time come
Everybody
around, and
beating
everybody else
them.
got to play and you don't. You know how you feel.
But that's when social services get on you about playing hide and go seek with your kids
I
dinner.
mean, you can get a cracker. You can get something. You ain't gonna. You ain't
Dr.
gonna get
Biz
that,
gave his
that
kids
chicken.
bread and water.
Bread and water.
when they're being bad.
That's right, bread and water.
Man, I might need to do my little thugs like that because they be turning up now.
Bread and water. No, I think when you have, for you, LaLa, been in a relationship, I've learned that you have to define the non-negotiables. And the way you allow Josh to treat the kids now, that is instilling in them how he will be as an overseer, as a guardian, as a protector. If something damaging happens to them, you want Josh to be there if you're not available. If they're hurt and they have to go to the hospital, you want him, and you're not in town because he finally let you go to Miami with your girls, then you actually don't want him to be like, well, I ain't the real daddy, so I ain't want to get in the way.
Like that, though.
But I'm saying you want him to be there during the bad times to support and help.
So you're saying why not let him discipline?
Right.
Exactly.
Because if he's
Either
teaching
he gonna be
them,
all in or not all in.
right, you can't, because the kids won't respect him when they get older. I have seen it enough.
You ain't my daddy.
Exactly. When they don't
now
get
they
what they
crazy.
want.
I feel like at that point, like if we had that situation now, I feel like I would jump in and I do the disciplining because for one, that's disrespectful and rude. You know what I'm saying? They know better than to say, you ain't my daddy. You know what I'm saying? Even though he's not biologically their father, he takes care of them. You know what I'm saying? He goes to graduations. He throws the birthday parties. You know what I'm saying? He funds everything. So it's just like, I don't know. It's just discipline
and maybe,
is different.
and I was gonna say,
that, also the love you show him, the way you treat them in front of him, that impacts way more because a child sees that and he say, okay, that's the man I answer to, because that's the man you answer to.
And they call him dad too.
and you and him have to agree on what his discipline looks like. If it's not physical, but it has to be as impactful as yours. You can't tell him you can put them on timeout, but you can't touch them, but you're gonna hit them with a flip-flop. Like, you both have to do it's unity in a team. It's teamwork. It's one team. But understand this.
I know
before
for my
you
kids,
get,
you know what I'm
before
saying?
you get the ring, you need to even find out you're already in a relationship. How are we going to do if we were married? There's no light switch that changes because I say I do.
That's right.
Who we started out as before I said I do, we still you ain't gonna wake up and your hair gonna be purple unless you intentionally dye it. I was gonna say unless you intentionally
I played some pranks in the past. Your hair might be a different color. Go to sleep in my sleepover.
Right. But just recommend that you guys find. Actually, this is a conversation you need to have now.
Right.
Because you're
However
giving
you
your
start,
children,
you're gonna finish,
and you're letting your kids get very close to somebody that you're not giving as much room and authority in their entire life or in your entire life. And for me, I would say there's a trust issue there. If you don't trust him to raise your children the way that you deem that they should be raised, you're a phenomenal mother. I met your kids, but you're a horrible father. You'll never be a dad. So if Josh is not father-worthy material in the whole sense, don't damage your kids by, they'll get confused. Right.
Yeah.
They'll be absolutely confused. So if it's working well, just work together. You and him talk about this is what it looks like and take baby steps. I didn't just say, all right, I was on the radio today and now you can whoop them. I'm not saying that, but you literally need to allow him, stand back sometimes and let him take the authority.
Well, he does. It's just
And then you come in and be like, don't be talking to my kids like that.
no. I used to honestly be like that. Like, don't do that. Don't do that, cause then you know what I'm saying. I'm not like that. We're 3 years in now, so it's kind of like I'm used to it. So it's like he's like, baby, such and such, baby. He'll try to handle it to a certain extent, but I told him, I don't think that we should do the beatings right now because I feel like beatings don't work for everybody, kids.
Have you ever
These is
tried
millennials.
beating your kids?
Yes.
And it's
But
still
I
gonna
don't
work?
think it's appropriate at all, all the time. Maybe
No.
And
if
it's
they
not.
do something real crazy, like one
The
time,
punishment
they
has
thought
to
it was cute to
equate
play in
the
the
crime. So it has to equate. So
Right.
small crime, small punishment. Big crime.
But they don't really
big
do
punishment.
anything big. I may get a little like, and then that's when the
Right,
flip
you
flop
don't
come
get no
on.
whooping for that.
But it's
Right.
just like I ain't trying to I got the leather belt. I hated that.
Right.
You know
My
what I'm
sister
saying? I ain't perfect.
My sister was playing with matches. First of all, that was grounds for whooping anyway. But when my grandmother came in the room, she threw the lit match under the pillow, like.
And it set it on fire.
It did. It's actually smothered it, but the fact that my grandmother saw her, that was a bona fide. That's how I learned the difference between why we got whoopings and why we didn't.
Yeah.
If it could harm us, our household, or something like that, we got spanked for it. If it was, I forgot to do the dishes, or no, I ain't forgot. I ain't do the dishes. I ain't gonna lie, I ain't do the dishes. If
I
it was
hated
something
that part.
like, that, like
Chores.
my dad would make us do push-ups. He would make us hold a plank. We would, if we got in a fight as siblings, we had to stand in the middle of the living room and hug each other. Like that was
You
punishment.
know what the worst thing is? going outside and getting the switch
on your
mama gonna whoop you with. God.
And don't come back with a little one. Don't come back with a right. Next thing you know, you got a shoe chasing you back out the door to go get another switch. I remember one time my daddy stood on the corner with it. We call it the ladder belt because when it hit you, it left the ladder print. And he was standing on the corner calling my name, and I was
you with a ladder? What?
It was a ladder belt. It looked like when you got hit, it made a ladder imprint.
The welt marks.
But I remember him standing on the corner, and I was
Your name is Toby.
right behind the car next to him, and he was calling my name.
Like.
Hey, it's gonna go to you, and I see the belt. Nah, bro. Like,
So
I'm
when he
good.
came and got you, I know you got it worse.
Let me tell you,
Come home sometime.
I was like, Mama, let me pray. Let me pray. That's when I was like, Jesus. All my whoopings.
Should have been calling them before you did what you did. That's what my daddy said.
You had been praying.
You got baptized that Sunday, didn't you? I'm walking up the aisle.
Wow.
Right, I'm preaching today, Pastor. I got this. You relax. I'm good. I'm singing. I'm ushering.
I got a
I'm parking
testimony.
cars. He said, "I got a."
Need y'all to hear this.
Ms LaLa, how can they get in contact with you?
I have an email. You guys can reach me on email, Instagram. My Instagram is MALEYAHTHEGR and the number 8. And my email is ravenmclean@gmail.com. Those are 2 ways to contact me.
Go ahead. Mogolzann.
Mogolzann, just the way you heard it,
Is that one
Mogolzann.
end or 2 ends?
2 ends on IG,
So it ain't the way I
1
heard it.
end on Twitter. I'm sorry.
He confusing.
Because I ain't hear Mogolzann.
Mogul is MOGOL. Stands for Mogols. So you gotta have goals in life.
Facts.
You gotta have things you're fighting for. 'Cause if you don't stand for something, you fall for anything. So, yeah, Mogolzann on IG. Follow me. Send a DM if you bad, ladies. Thank you. Also, just
See how you try to slide?
slid that in there. Just slid that.
Clothing
But what's
optional.
bananas is he'll say something about church and then he'll be like, but anyway. Like
Bend
real
over.
slick.
Lift it up
Praise
a
the
little
Lord.
bit.
Hey, best of both worlds over here.
Hey,
You gotta have
got
it.
that quadruple, but nothing underneath.
Family, we're going to take a break and get Mogolzann baptized all over again.
Yes, Lord.
You're tuned in to the Profit and Growth Hour here on WDRB Media.
The voice of the community.
Yeah.
I'll watch you.
I just have fun. I just like having fun. I just have fun.
Sounds interesting. Who's gonna get beat now?